Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Sagittarius. So, Sagittarius, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So, Sagittarius, your reading is really connected to Scorpio's reading that I did yesterday. And so I feel like somehow you and Scorpio are intertwined in either the same specific situation, or you know them, or you have somebody that is going through something that is going through what Scorpio was going through yesterday, being summoned by the Emperor to guide a burial ceremony. So it feels like you are a participant in this collective grief. Somehow you know that this is a very delicate moment. You are there to hold space for this loss. Either you also know the person who lost a specific battle. In that case, as an example, was somebody fighting cancer. But I feel like somehow you have your intrinsic optimism that is popping up, and it's almost like you want to be included in this shared collective grieving moment. But I feel like somehow you are either being called out by the head of the family, or by somebody that is just seeing you as very the word that is coming through is outrageous, but I don't feel like that's your intention at all. It's just that you want to be included, so that you bring your light, so that you bring your hope, so that you bring your optimism. And it seems like this person is trying to be very rational, very logical, and very practical, trying to keep you at arm's length. And I just want to say, if you are resonating with this, Sagittarius, just don't take this person. It's not even like don't take it so seriously, but it's like don't take it personally, most of all. This person doesn't know how to value the offer that you're bringing, right? By wanting to be a part of this collective grieving moment. So, there are three cards here that are connecting to Scorpio's message yesterday. So there is the Knight of Cups, which was the one who lost the battle. The last card here in this spread being the King of Swords. This card was in the extended for Scorpio, and it was an additional character, let's say, and we're going to get to the message of the King of Swords for you, which is a little bit different, but is also connected to yesterday's extended. But most of all, the card that is at the bottom of the deck here is the Death. So, this was the card that was symbolizing the burial procedures in the Scorpio reading. This was and is the underworld, the underground realm for Scorpio, is their natural habitat. I want to say this is not your natural habitat, but you seem to have something to add that you know that is incredibly valuable to the ones that are grieving. It's just that these ones, they don't know yet, because they are in pain, because they are suffering. So the Ten of Swords is beginning this reading for you, Sagittarius, and this is talking about this collective grief. So you want to be a part of that, because it's the 10, it's the shared path. It's like you know what a difficult moment this is for whomever is or has been directed, impacted by this loss, I don't feel like this was your loss. It feels like you're just here observing, looking from the outside in, and you want to be a part of that. It's almost like, you know, it's a different way of contributing. It's like Scorpio yesterday was an active participant as the one who was going to celebrate the funeral or something like that. But you, it's almost like you don't have like this how do I say, like this authority presence. It's like you don't have to play a certain role. You're just there as a friend or as a family member or as somebody to support in this collective grief, right? Specifically because it's like this Knight of Cups feels like such a gentle soul that it's like everyone who gravitated towards them was just infused with their love, with their purity. So I feel like, in a sense, you are here because of them, but also because of those who are sad, right, and grieving. So it's like you understand the pain, right? It's like you feel the loss, even though it's not directly you. It's not directly perhaps affecting you or somebody that you were closely connected with. But your presence here to transmute this pain is bringing the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands here is kind of like it's showing me like an image of it's actually a very significant image in the collective consciousness in our modern society. And it's showing me this funeral for Princess Diana, right? And it's showing me this almost like this it's like a big event, but in this case it's not a public or a big event. It's just like it's like the moment that, you know, the family is walking to the place where the funeral or, you know, the ceremony is going to be held. So this is like walking there, and it feels like for you, because you think of this person in such a high standard, in such a it's like you don't connect them with pain. You only connect them with love and purity and youth and laughter. So when you think of this walking to the graveyard or to the room or to whatever place is going to be this funeral ceremony, these burial procedures, it's like you can only see a reason to celebrate. And that might sound paradoxical or even out of place, especially to this one, this head of the family that I mentioned being represented by the King of Pentacles. They are the ones that perhaps you know, or they are the ones that are calling you out because your posture or your reaction or your instinct is to lighten the mood. It's almost like you don't want this moment to be remembered as, you know, this painful, grieving moment. It's like you want to remember this as something to celebrate the life of this one, right? Not their death, if that makes sense. It's like you were trying to emphasize, you know, the life that this one lived, whereas everyone around you, which they might be closer to the one, you know, that died, it's like they are not seeing, you know, the reason to celebrate. However, it's like you bring this perspective that is you know, especially in the eyes of this very practical and very rational King of Pentacles, it's like they don't see it that way at all. And it seems like it's almost like you're out of tune with this darker, somber mood, right? And I feel like you noticed that. And it's almost like, because the Six of Wands was almost like a public, but not, you know, not like, you know, the it's like the big funeral, the big ceremony for Diana, but it's more, it's more open. It's not a private ceremony. That's the reason why you're able to go to join this collective, right, in their grieving. So I wonder, Sagittarius, if you were actually invited, because I do feel like in the eyes of this King of Pentacles, maybe they didn't invite you, or, you know, if the first part of the ceremony was completed, finished, it's like they're counting their resources with the Seven of Pentacles for the next part. So for, you know, the lunch or the dinner, or, you know, whatever is going to be served next. And it's like you're not included in the list. It's almost like they were very specific, and it's like they don't want to waste resources, they don't want to waste their money. They have been counting, you know, the resources. And I feel like maybe because you also bring a certain mood that they were not expecting, or maybe it's almost like they don't see, maybe they see this as offensive, right? It's almost like you're trying to it's like your energy is out of tune. I don't know how to express that. It's like you're not sad as everybody else. It's like you're seeing the good, right, in the life of this one. It's like you're trying to see like everything that was beautiful about their life, and not, you know, the difficulties, or, you know, the sadness of their loss. And I feel like this one, they just don't see it that way. And it's almost like they're giving some sort of very practical excuse or explanation to not invite you to continue grieving together, right? It's almost like to this first walking to the funeral part, you know, that, you know, you were not necessarily invited, but, you know, there wasn't a formal invitation, so you just showed up because you wanted, you know, to honor the life of this one and to give the support to these ones. But what happens inside this close circle, it's almost like they are the head of this family, the head of this group or this community. So they are saying, I'm sorry, you know, there's not enough food, you know, there is no seat for you, or whatever it is. They're saying, I'm sorry, you're not part of the list, right? And they're being very straightforward. It's almost like they don't want to give a lot of explanation. I want to say that it's almost like they're not being emotional at all. It's like I wonder, you know, if they go there, it's like they're just going to crumble like these ones. So this one specifically, they're trying to be very, very practical and very it's like how do I say this, like summarize their intention, which is not to invite you to this party or to this celebration, which, you know, in your mind you were already included, right? Because you were already seeing this as a celebration. But for the ones who are really closely connected to the one that died, it's like they see this more as like a sad moment. So It's just a moment to come together, right? But it's not a moment to celebrate, if that makes sense. With the Nine of Wands, especially because the Nine of Wands is right underneath the Six of Wands, it's almost like here you were including yourself, right? It's like you're here in the middle. It's like you were including yourself alongside all of these ones that were lining up to say their final goodbyes. But in this other part, more restrictive or more private, it's almost like you want to insert yourself. And when they say no, or when they say, you know, this was not planned, it's like there is no room for you. It's like if you take it personally, it's like you're going to suffer. It's like you're going to be the one who feels the pain, essentially, or who carries the load, right, of this one. Remember, this King of Pentacles, they are not expressing their emotions, maybe because they feel like they can't. It's like if they do, they're just going to crumble. But if you take their response, their reaction, which is almost like taking you by surprise, just because your intention is also very pure, which is to lighten the mood of this room, of this family, of this moment, but you are being seen as like not necessarily an intruder, but it's like your presence was not requested, right? It's like you weren't necessarily invited. So it feels like it's like, yes, you can be there for part of it, but for the other part, it's like you would be a burden, like an extra burden for these ones, since they already have to carry the burden of this loss, if that makes sense. So it wouldn't be uplifting. It would be more like just, you know, somebody to entertain, or I don't know. It's like it's just having the opposite effect. I'm sorry to say that, Sagittarius, because I feel like your intention is very pure, right? Because it's like you respect this one, but mostly it's like your intention is to honor the life of this one. And somehow your intention is being twisted. It's like your reason to celebrate their life is being seen as a burden, as just like a distortion of the energy of the atmosphere. However, don't lose your hope, because I feel like there is one among these ones, right? So inside this group, so among this family, among this collective that is grieving, the King of Swords ending here this portion for you. And remember, this card was in the extended for Scorpio. So, and you know, and for Scorpio, this card felt almost like not necessarily a third party, but it didn't know anything about any loss and about anything that Scorpio was going on. So it felt like almost like this helper, or this supportive earth angel, let's say, that came right in the perfect moment to help Scorpio that was, you know, struggling. So I feel like for you, it's not necessarily that, but if you take the reaction of the King of Pentacles too personally, and you end up feeling like you are not welcome, or like your presence is a burden, like your intention is being misinterpreted, you can confine this to this one. It's almost like they're going to hear you out. So if this one called you out, it's almost like there's somebody else in this group that you can be open, that you can be honest about your intention, almost like explain the misunderstanding between the Six of Wands and the Nine of Wands, saying that you don't want. It's like, you know, essentially like undoing this confusion. And I feel like not only they're going to hear you out, but it's almost like what you say So this is interesting. It's like what you say is going to be heard or interpreted by the King of Pentacles as almost like an offense, right? To this moment, to this person's memory, to their death, perhaps. But to the ears of this King of Swords, it's almost like they have this open mind or this ability to hear with no judgment. I want to say it's because they are more, maybe they are more vulnerable, right? It's like this is a very delicate moment indeed, and they're more vulnerable even though they are the King of Swords. So maybe they are the ones who always gives advice, or is the one who others seek out to help them, or to find answers, or whatever. But this time it's almost like they need to hear you. It's like, so your message is reaching them, is connecting to them because they are more open-minded. This one is not yet there. It's almost like they don't want to open the door, right? They don't want to, it's almost like they are in the denial phase of grieving. This one, they're more, it's like they are more open to accepting the fact that this loss can be seen with another perspective, because I usually see the Nine of Wands as this path of flowers. So instead of your message, your presence being understood or being perceived as a burden, is actually being perceived by this one specifically as this hope, right? Almost as like this potential that is still unseen, is still underground, right? It's like the potential for the seed to sprout and bloom. It's like it's not yet perceived, it's still kept underground. But with time and the eyes to see and the ears to listen, which this one seems to have, it's like they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like they can see the hope, they can see the path of flowers, right? So in a sense, they see that your presence is bringing hope instead of being a burden, right? So yeah, I feel like if you don't have any opening with this one, it's like this one might be the one to go to, right? So that you can actually, share your intention. So Sagittarius, as I said, this is a very specific message, as it was yesterday for Scorpio. So if you haven't watched the Scorpio reading, maybe it will make more sense if you go there and watch the Scorpio reading. Yeah, they're very, very, very connected. So I am going to pull more cards, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes. I just saw 2323. So maybe something happened in 2023. Yeah, maybe that was just for one of you. So I'm going to pull more cards and also the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. I'll leave the link down below for you to find the extended. And if not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.